12 hours before Bo Callahan collapsed at his own dinner table, his daughter sent a text. "Have you finalized everything?" The reply came back in one word. "Yes." She asked about her brother. "He's not going to take that well." "That's not relevant to the structure," came the answer. Reagan typed one more line before she put the phone down. "Then we need to control the room quickly." She had no idea yet how right she'd be. This is the Callahan estate, old money, older silence. The kind of house where every hallway has been photographed for a magazine at least once. And every conversation that matters happens somewhere the cameras don't reach. On the night of April 3rd, the family gathered here for what Bo Callahan called a leadership announcement. A toast. A transition. The official passing of Callahan energy from a dying patriarch to whichever of his children he judged worthy of carrying it. By 6 o'clock, the cars were lined up the drive. Mason Callahan arrived first, tense, his wife Camille a half step behind him. Leela Bennett came alone, carrying something heavier than a handbag. And at 6 exactly, Reagan Callahan arrived with her husband, Grant, not rushed, not late, not early. On time, the way she does everything. Nobody in that room that night knew it would be the last time they saw Bo Callahan alive. Nobody, perhaps, except the one person who already knew exactly what he was about to say. Reagan Callahan Mercer is Bo's daughter, and according to his own private journal, written less than 2 weeks before he died, she was always going to be his successor. Listen to how he describes her, not loves, not trusts, describes. Reagan doesn't ask for power. That's why she's the only one who should have it. She understands structure, she understands restraint. She understands that survival isn't about winning, it's about enduring. She doesn't need my approval, which means she's the only one who deserves it. That's not a father talking about his daughter, that's a founder evaluating his replacement. She didn't marry someone who competes with her, she married someone who watches. Grant Mercer says almost nothing in any account of that night. But what he does say is the most quietly alarming line in the entire file. "I was watching the room more than participating. Something felt off before the argument even started." Bo noticed it too, 2 days before he died, he wrote. "Grant sees everything, he says very little. That combination makes people uncomfortable, it should." A woman who doesn't need to be the loudest person in the room, married to a man whose entire function is to notice everything in it. That's not a coincidence. That's a structure. Reagan builds structures. Mason is the one she's quietly stepping over. He's older. He's louder. And he spent years trying to earn a place his father had already decided, in private, would never be his. A failed investment. A bailout nobody was supposed to know about. A son who needs his father's approval next to a daughter who's never once asked for it. Reagan knew what that dinner would do to him. Teeth. He texts says so herself. He's not going to take that well. She said it like a weather forecast, not a warning, a fact she'd already planned around. When Bo Callahan collapsed at 7:38 that evening, the room split into two kinds of people. The ones who fell apart and the ones who didn't. Daniel Hayes was visibly shaken. Camille went still and composed. Victoria, Bo's wife, held the room with practiced authority. And Reagan took control. That's the exact phrase used to describe her in the record. Not Reagan panicked, not Reagan called for help. Reagan took control of the situation. While her father lay dying in front of her, her instinct wasn't grief, it was command. Here's where it gets interesting. Reagan gave a formal statement afterward. Calm delivery. No visible emotional disruption. On paper, the most composed witness in the house. But read what she actually said. I was seated when everything escalated. Leela pushed the conversation further than it needed to go. My father was responding when Senator Keller stepped in. After that, it happened quickly. Notice what's missing. No mention of the medication. No mention of what happened before the argument started, the part her own husband flagged as off. She gives you a sequence, she never gives you a cause. The investigators' own notes call her exactly what she is. Credible but selective. She's not lying, she's choosing. By the time the will is read, everyone in that house will understand what we already suspect, that Beau Callahan had already chosen, long before that dinner, who would inherit everything he built. But here's the question the file doesn't answer. If Reagan already knew what was coming, if she was already texting about controlling the room 12 hours before her father died, how much of that night did she actually not see coming? She told investigators what happened. She never told them everything she felt the moment it did. What is Reagan Callahan protecting? Her father's legacy, her brother, or herself? That's Case File 1. We'll be back next week. Inside the night, everything changed in the Callahan house, the dinner itself, minute by minute. Until then, I want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Do you trust Reagan Callahan? The full story, what she knew when she knew it, and what it costs her, is in the Callahan Legacy. The book doesn't hold back, links in the description and pinned below. Thanks for sitting with me in this one. Come back next week.